Fallout New Vegas exists in rarefied air, gliding across the skies. A universe of possibilities, of brilliance. New Vegas is the game that finally introduced me to modding. Out of necessity. New Vegas on PC requires jumper cables to get it started, but once it does, the road is endless. My first run through New Vegas was only a couple years ago. As many new players do on their initial playthrough, I made moral choices based on my own values. I rejected the overt fascism of Caesar's Legion and the smiling fascism of the New California Republic. The mods I chose were mostly for stabilizing the game, as well as some graphical enhancements, approximately as close to a vanilla run as a game that requires mods to function can get. Poor optimization aside, Fallout New Vegas remains, to this day, nearly unmatched among connoisseurs of CRPGs. And then there's Postal. For the gleefully uninitiated, Postal is a series of crude, crass, lewd, and apt do-what-I-want-a-paloozas. The original Postal, years back remade as Postal Redux, is a gun-totin' rampage across town, whereas Postal 2 is a crack-smokin' rampage across town. Postal 1 is an isometric action shooter with mandatory carnage to advance, but Postal 2 is more of an immersive sim, and it is only as violent as the player chooses, like New Vegas. In fact, both Fallout New Vegas and Postal 2 allow for a pacifist run. In Postal 2, all you need to do is patiently wait in line at the bank, library, post office, and police station without murdering anyone. Postal 2 forces the postal dude into dire straits, but mostly economically, tempting the player to perform crimes to make ends meet. Postal 2 is an extremely engaging and deeply gripping, high-stakes, high-as-balls, poverty simulator. I am 100% sure that I will brave the streets of paradise once more before the end of the year, but this time with
the sickest mods.
Postal 2, as it turns out, has a tremendous mod scene of dedicated Postal fans. Again, much like New Vegas. Postal fans see the potential in this super niche but super beloved to some people video game verse. Fallout New Vegas fans may not want to hear this, but speaking as someone who only recently got into both games, I can say without any baggage that Postal Dude fits not too badly within the desert wasteland. Oh, who's Postal Dude? Who indeed? Postal Dude is the scumbag protagonist of the Postal game series. When the original Postal was remade, the dude was given an appearance closer to his grimacing visage from Postal 2. In Postal 2, we are introduced to him kicking a dog. He is not a hero. He's not even an anti-hero. He's Postal Dude.
Go long! Yeah, that's what they all say.
Last year, I played Postal Redux and Postal 2, both for the very first time, and back to back. I played Postal Redux on a whim and possibly Steam sale, and I was so breathlessly enraptured with it, and I hope I'm being clear here, in a far more wholesome and meaningful way that I may be conveying. I loved it so much that I immediately purchased Postal 2 and started playing it, and Jesus Christ, this was healing to me. It truly was. My entire body, mind, and soul screamed in anguished joy. No irony here, this was something for me. Was it not, indeed, something? I shit you not. Never played anything in this series, and now it's basically the video game series that is going to help me survive the next 4 to 12 years. About a year and a half ago, and a year before playing Postal, in order to save my crumbling mental and physical health, I embarked on a journey of self-reflection and self-improvement that allowed me to cosmically enter the IDGAF utopia I have long sought. I have gone hobgoblin mode, and the Green Goblin can suck my dick. To be clear about something, Postal is not responsible for my renewed mental health. That's not what I'm saying. I played Postal long after said improvements, but I do think it is something I could only appreciate now in a better frame of mind, and I have decided to consider that beautiful. When I searched for mods for the Postal games, I happened upon mods for other games that shoehorned Postal Dude into the ones and zeros. Fallout New Vegas has over a dozen Postal-related mods, many created by the same modder. I loaded New Vegas with these mods and many, many more. A cornucopia of violence enhancers, and a pornocopia of sex enhancers. 93 active mods. I think it will be more fun to not explain all of them at this time, but instead cite them as they materialize in the game, flowing organically like a river of urine. This is definitely one of them, though. Most of the rest, a surprise! But the shortcut to enlightenment is this. Through my wholesome playthrough, I wish to recreate the general vibe of Postal within Fallout New Vegas. Many players journey through the wasteland murdering everyone they see. I know, but there is so much more to Postal than murder. The scum runs deeper than that, all the way to the scum marrow. The skies opened up and enveloped me, scattering me across the multiverse, crashing down in the wasteland. As the snow-white moon fades into our dying eyeballs, the luxuriously rat-packed track Blue Moon plays into our decaying eardrums. The earliest version of this eventual jazz standard was first recorded in 1934, but this iteration of Blue Moon was vocally performed by Frank Sinatra. Old Two Eyes Blue Eyes, they called him. We glide past the New Vegas Strip, a marquee advertising to us the glorious, revolting cock. In the hit song Strangers in the Night, Frank Sinatra sang Doobie Doobie Doo, the oft-cited direct inspiration for the name of the Hanna-Barbera character Captain Caveman.
War never changes.
Ron Perlman, the shining star of The City of Lost Children, Hellboy, Scooby-Doo in Where's My Mummy, Scooby-Doo Pirates Ahoy, and the television series What's New Scooby-Doo, delivers his second but not final Fallout voice acting performance. He began with Fallout 3, reminding us that war never changes, followed it up with Fallout New Vegas to say, much of the same, graduated to character in Fallout 4, and totally slummed it in Fallout 76. 2025. Jesus save us! Suddenly, and with a reasonable amount of warning because I'm the one who downloaded all these mods, the lore unfriendliness reveals itself through dramatic turnaround.
Oh man, this sucks.
Whoever was destined to be my captor, my murderer, and possibly my best friend has been unceremoniously replaced with Gary Coleman, star of Different Strokes, now a checker-suited mafia lowlife.
Here's one for your mother.
Our cutscene has been cut short. I awaken to a new reality and finally settle on a perspective and verb tense. First person present, except when discussing the past or when I forget. The mods prompt me to choose my sexual orientation, and I choose my own, which is theoretically also that of the Postal Dude, but who knows what tomorrow might bring, right? Although the Postal Dude at the end of Postal 2 is suffering from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, Postal Dude is now suffering from a Gary Coleman-inflicted head explosion. I momentarily consider the head-bandaged version of Postal Dude, as it would be canonical and lore-friendly in both Postal 2 and Fallout New Vegas. Nevertheless, I choose Classic Dude instead, not wanting to see him with one unwashed brain bandage throughout my entire playthrough. This is where I draw the line. It's a strange line to draw, but there it is. The game pleads with me not to choose playing Fallout New Vegas as the Postal Dude and gives me one more chance to turn back now. It asks me if I am sure that I want this.
I lie and say that I do.
I playfully ponder Postal Dude's character statistics, contemplating a neutral zone between what I suspect would be the fictional Postal Dude's arithmetically averaged superpowers and the stats that suit my playstyle and play interests. I bestow upon Postal Dude fairly average scores in all traits except one, Charisma. I do not navel-gaze myself enough to determine my own stats. I simply choose what I believe will be helpful in fashioning this Postal playthrough for maximum enjoyment factor 10. Here's my rationale. I have not fully checked, but I suspect that the dirtiest mods may require high charisma in order to take full advantage of their naughtiness. I choose a perk that allows Postal Dude to murderize human beings more efficiently without any comparable downside, as well as Wild Wasteland, just for kicks. I remove the melee specialization that Doc Mitchell presumed about Postal Dude's fighting habits and switched to guns. The rest look to be a rough approximation of the kind of trouble I want to get into. I recognize that even while I play this game from the physically restrained first-person perspective, the eye sockets of Postal Dude, I feel a separation betwixt myself, the player, and the dude, the avatar. I am not playing Fallout New Vegas as Postal Dude. I am playing Fallout New Vegas as myself, as Postal Dude's guide through the desert. This distance, I tell myself, will allow me to not feel super heckin' weird every time I choose the Devil Karma option, or luxuriate in the not safe for work mods. vortexing their way through the spiraling game code. I am the player. Postal Dude is the character. My long-abandoned Catholicism still demands this rationalization and sacrifice for my own well-being. Doc Mitchell gives me some clues and a Pip-Boy, and then it's off to Goodsprings. Turned on Postal Dude's Pip-Boy for the first time and was greeted by the Postal 2 map screen elevator music. Picked up some cats to be used as silencers later, another mod, and moseyed over to the saloon. Immediately, I knew I was in for a sexy treat and a difficult-to-monetize video. 3 exotic dancers cavorted and capered for the amusement, nay, the jubilation of Goodsprings. The world ended. Why cannot there be horny? Here is Slutty Susie, whose nickname and first name are either both misspelled or she chose an alternate spelling, like how some men named Jeffrey spell their name with a G, like the typist at a birth certificate office was performing a lifelong Eric Andre prank. Susie offered an exchange of sex for bottle caps, but I decided against losing all of my money at the beginning of the game. I remember that becoming an issue during my Postal 2 playthrough. Horny Heather spells her nickname incorrectly, but her Christian name well enough. I deliver the most laughable, leisure-suited line imaginable, but the price is even higher. 100 caps. No thanks. For the hat trick, I chat up Axel and turn him down. Axel is not given a nickname. This seems unfair, so I call him Axfucker Axel and leave him to his own devices, which I'm reasonably sure are jumper cables. In Postal 2, the dude only behaves as badly as the player, but a not insubstantial portion of the fun of Postal 2 is the unrelenting mayhem. Fallout New Vegas provides even more options for this bedlam, and I was not going to let Postal Dude pass up on many, if any, opportunities for misdeeds. I spent exactly 0 seconds speculating on whether or not I should have the Postal Dude steal medical supplies from the man who saved his life. When I was done with this dude, his actions would make the devil cry. Easy Pete gives me the lowdown on the New California Republic.
Don't get me wrong, the NCR's got a lot of decent folk in it. It's just that they make you part of them whether you like it or not. Towns like Goodsprings and Prim don't stay independent for long, not if you've got something the NCR wants.
Fallout New Vegas is not Animal Farm, and therefore has no narrow one-to-one allegorical parallels. But NCR equals USA feels correct enough. Inside the saloon, I bump into Sunny Smiles, who presents as a completely new character due to the mods. Vanilla Sunny Smiles looks like this, and Made by Perverts Sunny Smiles looks like this. Let it be known, I am not above this perversion. After all, I am using these mods in hopes of having a rip-roaring good time playing Fallout New Vegas. Anywho, Sunny Smiles teaches Postal Dude how to shoot, how to craft, and how to fight. A blood-red skull shudders into vision when Postal Dude is hit. Postal Dude is coming into his own, but he still doesn't present himself like the Postal Dude from Postal 2 or even Postal 1. Something must be done about that. I amble up the hill where I see a man and a woman occupying a campfire.
Hello there, Clubber.
The woman, Daria, is a former powder ganger. The powder gangers are escaped felons who recognized that being locked up and made to build a railroad for the NCR was tantamount to slavery. Caesar's Legion has slaves. NCR has slaves by a different name. Daria wants something else for her life, and that makes it simple to convince her to join Postal Dude in his quest to go postal. Mere seconds into our companionship, Daria tells Postal Dude that she is in love. The part of me that is me wants to warn her, but the part of me that is puppeteering Postal Dude and wants to see how this potential marriage goes allows this love affair to play out. I have Postal Dude ask Daria to bone down real hard in plain sight of another man in his underwear, and for some inexplicable reason, she politely refuses. Daria becomes the first soldier in my army of whatever it will be called. This is JT, mustache groomed with a creep comb, and bald head combed over with a fork found behind the refrigerator. He wants Postal Dude to wet his whistle at a completely legitimate establishment called Lollipops. To prove her loyalty, I order Daria to ventilate JT.
You
Let's
gotta be
dance!
fucking kidding. Oof.
No.
Daria does well, but JT has plot armor. He can only be knocked unconscious, not killed. But because my companion order is still in effect, Daria guns him down again and again until I fast travel away to get some distance. Back at the saloon, Postal Dude meets Trudy, who has been pervert modded to have a more terrifying appearance.
Well, you've been causing quite a stir. Glad I finally got to meet you. Welcome to the Prospector Saloon.
Golden eyes and big naturals. Trudy claims that a man named Ringo is in trouble and has been hiding in Goodsprings. The powder gangers want his head. She tells me this while the guy she's shit-talking is right there. This is what? A Shakespearean soliloquy, like he's not there because the Zach Morris time machine magic happened? A man by the name of Joe Cobb is with the powder gangers. Joe, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but the next time you threaten an entire town, you would do well not to lean against a nearby wall trying to look like hot shit in a champagne glass. Because I have played this game before, I know that Joe has backup somewhere, but right here and right now, I have never seen a sitting duck quack this hard. With Joe Cobb disassembled into chunks, Fallout chunks, the game informs me that the quest has been failed, but if I failed, why do I feel like a winner? I have Postal Dude steal everything on what's left of his mangled body. I give Postal Dude some stim packs. Probably should not have fired the grenade launcher so close to Joe Cobb.
Bet you'd be into some nasty shit if you tried it.
Daria's running commentary is great, but she has a foul mouth that I must censor to keep this video monetized. This is one of the first instances of Daria insisting on partaking in nasty shit. By chance, I happen upon Trudy and let her know about my first murder of the game. Goodsprings is in danger. Not my fault, but I decide to have Postal Dude gather up the townsfolk and form a makeshift armada. Sunny Smiles agrees immediately. Chet the capitalist coward signs on after a taste of the rough stuff. Easy Pete gives us his dynamite, which spares Postal Dude the trouble of killing him for it. Trudy and her big naturals are in. Doc Mitchell offers medical supplies. And Daria the powder ganger is basically my girlfriend, so she's in. Ringo has been holed up in this gas station for days, and I can't help but think that maybe he could have just slipped away by now. The powder gangers are down here, or were, and the gas station is way up on the hill, out of plain sight. All this trouble for a man named Ringo. The powder gangers are slightly peeved about what happened to Joe Cobb, and they storm the town with laser guns. Horny Heather!
No!
This is for Horny Heather, and Slutty Susie, and Randy Rachel, and Betty, as dictated by the oft-cited Fallout New Vegas glorified by all morality system. Murdering all the powder gangers appears, in some circuitous calculation, to have lost me some favor with the powder gangers. Although I played Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas before Postal 2, it would appear that Postal 2 simply did this first. That is how time works. Hey, Goodsprings actually likes Postal Dude. That's a first. A few looted corpses later, and Postal Dude is given a reward of 100 caps. Wait. 100 caps. That's what Horny Heather wanted in exchange for freaky Batgirl sex. What have I done? How could this happen to me? I can only think of one way to ease Postal Dude's pain. After 3 totally fulfilling sexual encounters with women that Postal Dude met earlier that day, the sadness leaves his body and mind. I determine that the dude needs a home. All those other towns, they can rot. But Goodsprings, these folks have his back. Like Easy Pete, Master of Dynamite, and Grandmaster of Sitting in a Chair. Doc Mitchell, gullible man who never keeps his door locked and keeps his valuables in plain view. Trudy and her soul. This is home. A home for Dude. I happen upon a can of Cracola, a modded postal-infused not-so-soft drink, mocking the real soda pop that still contains a reference to cocaine in its global brand. Hey, Crotchios, the breakfast cereal named after a testicle monster. Now the Postal 2 reconfiguration is complete. Postal and its sequel are among the most pleasant surprises of these my early 40s. I didn't play Postal during the good years or bad years of my life, and I might have turned my nose up at it only a few years ago. No, I played Postal at the exact right time. My soul is better for having played these games, and I say that with only moderate, humorous hyperbole. In Postal 2, when the Postal Dude smokes crack, he remarks to himself, "I know this can't be good for me, but I feel great." Well, much as I said already in that video, Postal is good for me, and I feel great. Upon considering playing Postal 3, everyone warned me to skip it altogether. Everyone, the commenters, the skeeters, even the creators of Postal running with scissors, who were nice enough to comment under my Postal 2 video. What nice guys. I am determined to learn nothing about their politics. Speaking of fluidity, how would one describe the average Postal fan? The subject was broached where all Postal fans reside, Reddit. The replies, frankly, were remarkable to me. Nobody could determine if a fan of Postal is more likely to be gay or straight, black or white, trans or transphobic. I think I settled on this one from Captain Fatbelly. Postal fans are characterized by good taste in video games. I will conquer 3, 4, and brain damaged one day, but that day is not today. Today is Wednesday, and on Wednesday we wear red. I'm trying something different. In one of the many ramshackle houses, the dude comes upon a woman named Delilah. Her goal in life is to become a doctor, and not merely Doc Mitchell's assistant. Her talents run deeper, and who better to show her the desert wasteland and teach her about the world than Postal Dude? Delilah, much like Daria, is another custom mod companion. Although I have given Postal Dude a home, 2 companions, and more than a little unprotected sex, the trio has quests on the horizon. They can always return to Good Springs, it's only a fast travel away, but the open road calls to them. Between Good Springs and the next town, the trio is suddenly confronted by a robot named Victor. Victor rescued Postal Dude from a shallow grave after he was shot by Gary Coleman. Here's how this plays out.
Well, sure you can, friend. But everyone needs a hand from time to time. Maybe you'll return the favor one day. I wouldn't put it exactly like that, friend. Till our trails cross again, partner.
Does the hot dog man bleed ketchup?
That's right. No more robots. No more rules. No more heroes. Now, with Dude, Daria, and Delilah, the army grows. The name of their motley crew, DDD. The citizens of New Vegas will tremble at the sight of them. Whether Great Khans, NCR soldiers, or even legionnaires, everyone will whisper their names in hushed tones, out of equal parts respect and fear. Oh, and if this were not obvious, this is not the end of this story. It is only the beginning. For this YouTube video is part 1 of an ongoing, potential year-long misadventure through post-apocalyptic Nevada, starring the worst person in the state, nay, the world. Retroactively, at least for you, I titled this chapter, The Baddest Man in Goodest Springs. Next chapter coming in like a month or so, with plenty unrelated Renegade cut videos in between. But this is Fallout New Vegas, gone postal.